All right, fuck it. So I was gonna wait to do this later, and I've been, keeping up this whole deal with like doing vlogs every Saturday and every Tuesday or whatever. But this is too important and too big of a deal right now on the internet, and most people that probably follow my stuff to let slide by. So I'm gonna put this up for Friday. At the time that you're gonna be hearing this, I'm gonna be away at Almacon. So whatever. Okay, Sonic Boom was announced, or rather, the designs for the Sonic characters in Sonic Boom, the new video game, and the new TV show and everything were revealed. I'm not gonna make a big thing out of like, oh, I knew it was coming. It was pretty obvious to figure out that the third Nintendo exclusive game was going to be Sonic Boom, the game. I mean, what else was it going to be in the time, the kind of time frame set up? My thoughts. I like them. I think they all look cool. The only one that I'm like kind of probably gonna have to get used to is Knuckles. I think that everybody else looks perfectly fine. I don't mind the tape. I don't mind the goggles and the new outfits or whatever. I'm going to be quoting a lot of people. Martin, Little Karibo pointed out, like, they're not even really that different. It's like, oh, they're wearing clothes now or whatever. Like, the only one that, like, really looks that different is Knuckles. And to be perfectly honest, like, even in, like, 2000 when, like, Sonic Adventure or whatever came out and I saw the redesigns and I later learned that everybody's freaking like, oh man, they like really ruined them or whatever. Like, oh, the art style looks like crap and the designs, they ruined them or whatever. It's like, aside from Amy, which, I mean, Amy's color scheme was kind of gross in Sonic CD with the fucking green and orange or whatever. Like, it was cute or whatever for the time, but like, I don't know, I liked Sonic Adventure, Amy's design a lot more. And like, I don't know, but even in general, like when I first saw those designs for Sonic Adventure, like all the way back then, I was like, oh, they don't look that different. Like, why are people making such a big deal? Like, oh man, but when he was pudgy and then they stretch him out and blah blah blah, and now he has eye color. It's like, who the fuck cares? Like, it's the character, and that's kind of my point, and that's why this is probably going to end up being kind of a short video, because my whole deal with this is the characters are the characters. Okay, like Sonic is Sonic, Eggman is Eggman, Tails is Tails. Just from like the little bits of stuff that they've revealed on the couple trailers, the characters are still the characters, and it's clear that like they give a shit about preserving that. And this is just regarding the designs and the characters. In terms of the new game or whatever, I'm not gonna say anything because I don't know anything about the game. The trailer looked neat. Apparently, Big Red Button Entertainment, or whatever it's called, is composed of like former Naughty Dog people. That's pretty cool. Maybe it'll be cool, but we don't know anything about the game itself, so I'm not even gonna touch on that because like I'm not gonna open that can of worms. I got enough shit from like halfway defending Sonic Lost World, so whatever. And the new, but I will definitively say that the CGI cartoon trailer looks fucking awesome, and most people seem to be in agreement about that, so good, thank God. But yeah, regarding the designs, I mean, like, I don't know, I guess that kind of comes down to like a preference in like art style or whatever, and I mean that's very much up to people's digression. But this is a weird comparison to make, but maybe people will understand this. Like, okay, so Klasky Chupo did like a bunch of series for Nickelodeon that were all like major hits. They obviously they did Rugrats, they did Wild Thornberrys, they did Ah Real Monsters, they did Soul Be Ginger. Everybody I've ever talked to is like, oh man, Klasky Chupo's art style is so gross and everybody looks disgusting, and like the Rugrats look like you'd like throw a baby in a burlap sack and beat the shit out of it or whatever. It's like that's great and everything, but I don't know, I feel like the fact that all of those shows that they did with those gross character designs, quote unquote, they were all still a hit. So, I mean, the kids watching them, I mean, just enjoyed the shows for what they were. I mean, like, maybe people aren't quite valuing that as much, or they're not really thinking about that. But, I don't know. I mean, like, the whole point of this, because people seem to also be skipping over the certain details, like, about how this isn't replacing the original series, and how the models in the game trailer are work in progress, as you can clearly tell, because they're not fully rendered, but people aren't thinking about that. They're just completely focused on, like, it's different. It's like, is it really different? I don't know. Is it really that different that, like, yeah, they're wearing bandages and they're stretched out a little bit more? It's like, it's a style that's more appealing to kids that, like, are kind of this generation. I sound like a fucking, get off my lawn. I'm not even trying to sound like, get off my lawn or whatever. It's like, just, I get why, like, they're kind of going with this visual direction, because this is appealing to, kids living in the current time period, as opposed to back in like the early 90s or whatever, when, you know, the kind of more Mickey Mouse, Felix the Cat kind of style was something that was more kid friendly at the time. And now, you know, that has kind of developed and changed, and it's not that it's better or worse, it's just different. But at the same time, I don't feel like it's so different that like it's worth like shitting your pants over it, you know? It's like, just from the couple trailers, it's like Sonic is still Sonic, and everybody is still everybody as they were. Like, their personalities are still the same. They carried over all the actors and everything. It's like, that's part of what makes me excited about it. And granted, I'm not against the idea of like completely like reinterpreting the characters. If anything, I actually was going to say earlier, I wouldn't have even minded if they took more liberties with them. I wouldn't have minded that at all. I in fact, like with Knuckles, like, they could have gone further with them. I think that he looks kind of weird, and a lot of people have said this, that it looks like they took his head of his previous model and just like tacked it on top of an entirely new body. It doesn't quite like work with the rest of what it looks like. They could have fucking given him an anteater face for all I care. I don't know. I just something like even further. Like, I feel like there was no harm in doing that, because if they're doing their own interpretation of the visuals and, you know, with like the sensibilities of it being an animated series, it's just different, you know. But again, it's like with Ken Pontac writing and Roger Craig Smith voicing, it's like Sonic is still Sonic. Sonic is Sonic. It's fine as far as I'm concerned. I think it's cool. I'm looking forward to the show. I'm looking forward to learning more about the new game. I'm going to, you know, take it with the same level of precaution as anybody would with a new Sonic game, you know, in recent years. And, you know, but overall, like, I feel the same as I did before. Before the stuff was revealed officially, I'm like, okay, I'm enthusiastic about this. This could be neat. I'm looking forward to it. Maybe it'll be cool. We'll see how it goes. So, you know, I don't know. I don't even think I need to say, leave a comment about what you think, because I'm sure you all will share with me exactly what you think, and a lot of you probably already have. So yeah. But Sonic Boom, it's coming out this year. I'm excited to check it out. That's it. See ya. Gotta speed.